Wait, what was that bit? We are
No,
live, by the way.
never. We're like,
I pressed live and then you literally started saying, "Oh no, oh no, what's he gonna reveal?" How's it going, guys? It's Thomas on Planet Tech. Welcome back to another stream. This is the Legoland Germany recap stream. I'm joined with my partner in crime,
I'm joined from the dungeon.
Yeah, Sam's getting a
lighting's
bit of a
not
revamp
kind.
in his setup, so he's in the spare room at the minute. Sam, we recently went on another event. We've been on many adventures.
Oh yeah.
But this is outside of, I guess, Chicago. This is actually no. In fact, this is our most ambitious adventure to date.
Ambitious is the word.
Yeah. And that's coming from two people that tried to get a 27 base mock, or thought they could get a 27 base mock across the world in one piece. No, that failed miserably. So you can only imagine how this trip went.
I think this probably went more successful than that did in the end.
Just. Let's say hello to some people in chat. So we got Guava King. How you doing, Brandon? Good to see you, mate. We got Mark, evening again. Hello. Faith and Misery, good to see you. Gaz, welcome. Evening, the recap, or Sam was trafficked.
Not far off, honestly. I could easily see that happening.
Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Even everyone I haven't said that to that I haven't said it to already yet. Good on. Oh, welcome on in, Mike. Yeah. So, for anyone that I guess is unaware, hey Emily, welcome on in. If you could like the stream, it would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Before we get started, but yeah, we're gonna just talk through our journey and our adventure
of last Friday.
Yeah. And we I may go get the bag of parts that I got and maybe fish through some of my big pickups. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, we'll answer them just as we go and as you think of them about the Germany store. So for those who don't know, Legoland Germany is a bit unique because it has a whole shop that is dedicated just to Lego pieces. It's a pretty sizable shop, right, Sam?
Yes and no. When I first walked in, it was a little bit smaller than I was expecting.
Yeah.
But because there's another room behind it that you think's connected, but it's not.
Yeah.
And then, but once you actually go around, there was a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. It still holds like a really decent.
Yeah. Compared to a normal pad wall, it's
for sure. Yeah. So me and Sam have been fed up with the pab selection here in the UK. I think we've exhausted Southampton and London's pab walls to the point that we had
to go international.
Yeah, we wanted to go international. I can't remember when I first pitched the idea of going over there. It was before Mike had been. I know that it was probably best part of a year ago.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was having a look at it and I was like, I'd seen a couple of the German channels go over there, and I saw their kind of walkthrough videos and things like that. And yeah, it just sounded like a fun experience. And when I started looking into it a bit more, I was looking at the best ways to go over, whether it be to drive or whether it could be flying. And then when the park itself looked quite small, so I kind of anticipated not really wanting to spend too much time in just doing Legoland, because a lot of the rides were same or similar enough to Legoland Windsor, and a lot of them were aimed for kids a lot younger than us. So the big draw was going to be the Fabric, which is the name of the shop. And so when we were looking at it, I was like, it's possible to do it in a day, and that would just save on hotel costs. It would save, like, there's more
What
money
we
we could
kept
spend
saying
on
is that
tab.
if you do it in one day, the money you put into a hotel could be put straight back into the store. So you
Yeah,
might as well just do it for one day.
exactly. And it would be a long day, and it would be but it would just be like,
If you take the first flight out and get the last flight back,
yeah,
which
it
would
would,
end up being a key to a lot of our problems.
which would prove more difficult than you might some might think. Hey Seth, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. So so yeah, we actually ended up booking quite late, didn't we? Like in
Far
the
too
end.
late.
Yeah. It's when I originally I actually haven't done the numbers on it since we've actually been. But I think when I originally looked, it was going to be about 300 for everything except for spending money. So that would have included flights, park tickets,
Rental car.
yeah, car hire. I think that was probably everything. But yeah, I don't think it was. Maybe I felt like when I first looked at the flights, they were a lot cheaper than what we ended up paying.
Yeah, I think we
But I
probably
think,
ended up paying about €100 each over what we should have done.
yeah,
About
which
that.
is a bit annoying. But it
Yeah.
was, yeah, just circumstance, and we know for next time to kind of lock
There's a
in
lot of
something.
things about this trip we know what to do next time.
Yeah, if there's a next time.
If there's a next time.
So yeah, so we ended up booking the flights probably 3 weeks ago, maybe something like that. So
Something like
yeah,
that,
it was quite late. The one bonus that we did have, and where we did make a saving on what my original estimate would have been. So I just like Googled what the park ticket price was and factored that in for a day ticket. And I think if you even if you book in advance, I think it's still about like 40 something euros to get
Yeah,
into
quite a
Legoland
lot.
Germany. So it's quite a lot. But off the back of another one of our blunders,
Due to a different incident we had, actually benefited us.
we ended up converting. So when we went to Legoland with some of the people in chat in Windsor a few months ago, and we converted VIP points to get our park ticket. Long and short of that story is
Park ticket, which is listed as just a Europe Legoland park ticket, which is
yeah.
very lucky.
Yeah, so we didn't end up using it for that Windsor trip, which meant that we had it for this one. And I think it works out that it's like 20 or 25 pounds,
Yeah. So it's a
which is
good
the cheapest
saving on it.
way. It's the biggest saving to get into the park. Mark says I get the popcorn for this. It seems we are to be entertained. The entertainment is something. will be one thing to call it. But yeah, so we booked. So we get to Heathrow. Should we just go? Yeah, just start our
Let's do
journey.
it.
I think let's do it. Like I said, guys, if you've got any questions along the way, then do ask. I'm sure as we get to like actually being in the store and the parts available and stuff, you guys might have some questions on that. No, people don't want to know what was on the Padball page. No, I don't know. There'll be a few people, I reckon. Okay, yeah. So I drove up to Heathrow. We're flying out of Heathrow. You got the coach up.
Yeah.
Fairly straightforward, right?
This part was.
Yeah.
We'll get to that as well.
That was all plain sailing. Shout out to
We
all the
were totally fine until we got to Germany.
yeah. It was
Like
yeah. It was
everything
all,
went very smoothly, exactly as it should have done, until we
yeah
landed in Germany.
yeah. That's when it all went downhill. So shout out to all the Jedi Master members. A few of my members have also upgraded their membership so they can go watch the vlog. There is a vlog for the Jedi Masters that kind of documents all this. There's certain bits that like when I was editing it that I was like, I wish I had filmed just a little bit more for the sake of the video.
I was watching this. There was some jumps.
Yeah, there was some like
where
big
a lot had
significant.
happened in that jump.
Yeah, but
particularly
like
the one before we were at the Burger King, there was a big jump there.
Yeah, and then there was also, and then after that, from the car to like getting into the airport, like I wish there was a bit more there.
Yeah,
like
I
dropping off
would
the
have
car
filmed
and
that. I
stuff.
think were a bit too stressed at that
But
point.
yeah, I wasn't prepared to. Anyway,
Get the content or get stranded.
yeah,
It's a difficult toss up.
yeah. Was it cheaper to fly from Heathrow? So the only so there was two options. You could either fly to Stuttgart, which was it was meant to be like an hour 45. I think both times,
They were
definitely
like
on the
an
way
hour
back, it was like an hour
15.
15. It was
Yeah,
like
they were
they
quite
made up a
short.
lot of good time. So it was a really short flight time to Stuttgart. Stuttgart is about an hour's drive from Legoland, or you can go to Munich. So I imagine there's more flight options to Munich.
Yeah.
But that is an hour and a half drive up to Legoland. So when I looked quite a while, not I checked the prices maybe like a month before we actually booked, and I couldn't see them then. But when I looked like way back before, I had looked. There wasn't actually that many, and it was most of the flights were BA, so that's why they ended up coming out of Heathrow. I don't know, Mark, if you were to look from maybe like Southampton or I don't know. You may get to Munich from one of those places. I don't know if you'd get to Stuttgart necessarily. But also because we were doing it in a day, the flight times were like most favorable from Heathrow. We got the first flight out of like Heathrow entirely.
It was the first flight of the day they were running.
Yeah, and it was the last one out of Stuttgart coming back as well. So because we wanted to give us the maximum window,
Which was the correct decision.
which was absolutely the correct decision. One question for later. Did you go back for the small animals? I did. In fact, I did that like
After
pretty
that
much
clip
straight
ended, I
away.
said, just get them
Another
now.
good call
So,
from Sam on
yeah,
that one.
so we're
But yeah.
not in a rush later, which
Yeah.
again, correct decision.
I'm still waiting for the Andor finale stream, to be honest. Sith, I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna do the recap streams for Andor when that next comes out, maybe in like 3 parts or something, because I do like talking about that show. Anyway, so yeah, so we get to Germany, all good. We go and we go to the car rental desk. Bearing in mind, so this is the first time I've ever rented a car. It's the first time I've ever driven on the other side of the road. So I'm like quite nervous. Another reason why I was like looking at driving was to get that experience, because I do want that under my belt. And I said in the vlog, Sam was like my crash test dummy. So he must have some reasonable faith in me.
To be fair to you, I didn't feel unsafe at any point you driving.
The driving actually, yeah, the drive. I think there was just so much more going on that I was.
Oh yeah, that was like that could just go on the
time.
back of the mind. That doesn't matter. We're just.
Yeah, I didn't have time to worry about the driving. And so yeah, so we go to the car rental desk, all very smooth. It did take us a bit of a minute. We nearly boarded a train instead of getting.
Wish we did.
Honestly, wish we did. We struggled to find the car, but we ended up getting there, and it was all good. So we get in the car, and this is where it starts to go bad. So we're in like an underground car park. We basically got the key at the desk, and then they just kind of sent us off to go and take the car.
They give this fun little map where we had to go find it.
So also for like my own peace of mind and my own comfort, I thought that because I'm used to driving manual cars, I thought I would hire a manual just because I thought it would be comfortable. It's like what I know. It's one less thing to kind of worry about, even though automatic driving is is easier, I guess. I just wasn't familiar with it. So never making that mistake again. Always hire automatic if you can. But yeah, so we get in the car. It's all nice. We get the sat nav on. And we're driving up the.
It's 3 like rotations up a multi-story.
Yeah, and with anyone that drives a manual car will know about like the biting point and how you can jump in one car to another and it be like so completely different. So that took a minute, and I said to Sam when I got in the car, I might just do a lap or something of the
Yeah.
bottom floor. But I think I just got so excited that we just went straight up. So and
I don't think the biting point was the issue of what
I
happened.
don't think it was either, but I will be fully transparent here. So we're I was because I never went over like 3,000 revs was the most I hit.
Each time we went up, we like stalled and stopped.
Yeah.
Like trying to go up. And then we get to the third one.
We see daylight.
Yeah, we see daylight. We go forward a bit. There's this button to push. We go a little bit too far back past it. And there's this guy who comes up to our car. And we think he's saying, oh, reverse to get to the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then we look forward. And there's smoke coming up the dashboard.
Like bellowing out of
a lot of smoke. You can smell it quite strongly.
Yeah.
And we're like, I don't know if it should be doing that.
So like I'm like panicking. I was like, have I still got the handbrake on? Have I been revving it too hard? But I really, really wasn't. And so luckily the guy, I don't know what I would have pulled over. I wouldn't have pulled out of the car. I may have pulled out of the car park, but pulled over straight after that. Like I don't know. But it was like it was bellowing out of the front of this Seat Ibiza or whatever it was. And so that was our first big thing. We pulled over and this German guy come out going, oh, like it's really in a foul mood about this. And he was going, and I kind of wish I got footage of it, but I was in the moment.
We got an odd picture off to the side, which I think Tech put in the vlog.
Yeah,
but we didn't want to film them in this moment.
This guy's going, oh my car, and I'm there like, wait, get out of the shop, mate. So they were just like they were obviously speaking in German.
The guy, like pretty immediately after we opened it, said, oh, you need to go back and get an automatic, like it's something that happens frequently.
Yeah,
which I found quite weird.
Yeah. So we end up going back to the main desk. We waited there because
where the queue was quadruple the size it was.
Yeah, we literally walked up to the desk the first time, and then like 40 minutes later when we go back,
it was. We were in that queue longer than the one at the fucking Legoland.
Yeah, and then so we're waiting, and there's people getting turned away because there's no car. Like they're running out of cars.
We were worried at this point.
And so I was like, oh my God, like this is the one car. Like, do we just take a smoking chimney all the way to Legoland and just say sod it? But they managed it. They had one car left and it was automatic. And we were like, we'll take it. Let's go.
And then they told us it was electric.
And then they told us it was electric, which also proved to be a big stump.
We went on a very interesting relationship with electric cars throughout this journey, going from pretty neutral about them to loving them to despising them over the course of the day.
Yeah, just because, like, and it didn't cross my mind at all at the time when we said yes to it. Not that we had any choice anyway, and I don't regret taking the electric car.
No.
But I just did not appreciate how much time it would add on, like waiting for the car to charge. So they said to us, because it was still quite a small car, it had 200 kilometers on a full battery.
Was the maximum, yeah.
But I think it had probably like just been returned or something, so they didn't
they
get
said,
a chance.
It's currently on 60%.
Yeah. So, and Legoland was 100 kilometers away. So we had like, at the start, we had like 10 kilometers to play with, which is like super risky. You think of like how short a distance that is. Or like how much of a percentage of play you've got there. There's not a lot.
Especially if you get into traffic, which we did.
Yeah. So they were like, oh yeah, it'll be fine as long as you don't hit too much traffic and you drive sensibly. I was like, okay, yeah, fine. We did hit a bit of traffic going on the way there. And so probably like 10-15 kilometers out from Legoland, I said, Sam,
the actual physical driving thing was very easy. It's just once you've gotten out of the airport, it's one road and you just stick on it. And
driving
it's very simple.
Driving is 100% the way to go if you're going to do it, especially if you're going to do it in a day. There was for some of the road, there was a train line down the side of it, but every time I looked at trains or
There
like
was a point where it turned into a cliff, so they were
yeah, yeah, it just like ended. But the train was like a 3-hour journey one way because you have to get a train to one place and then a bus and walk and stuff. So that it just wasn't an option. And even coaches, I think, were still like 2 hours because you had to change somewhere. So driving is like Sam said, the road was so straight and direct, like it was fine. Like the drive there was fine. So we pulled over. We charged the car up a little bit, just to get us to Legoland because we knew that Legoland had chargers as well. We googled that when we were at the desk.
This charger at this stop was very quick though.
Yeah,
and,
it was
and
really
that's what
quick.
gave us false hope for later.
Yeah, boy did it. Yeah, it went to like. Because what did we get it to like 30%? We were like, let's just
we
get
went
it
from
30%.
like 10% up to 30 in like 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah. It seemed to go really, really quick. And we were like, that's enough to get us comfortably to Legoland, and then we can just stick on charging and go in the park and not worry about it. When we got there, it was very, very busy.
It was so much busier than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Because we thought, oh, it's a Friday, kids will be in school.
Yeah, I think it must have been the half term or something.
It must have been. It was packed.
Yeah. So we get to Legoland anyway. That's fine. We were just like, okay, we can just allocate
half tried to find the electric chargers, but I think we were both just too excited to get in.
Yeah, it was
another mistake.
It was just what it was got. I think when we come out, I looked and they looked all taken anyway. So I don't think we would have had too much luck on that front. But we probably should have tried a little bit harder to find that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so then we go into the park. Our tickets worked because when you convert the VIP points to a Germany park ticket, it doesn't actually give you, like, you don't pick a day, which you do in the Windsor one. So it was a bit like touch and go. We've got these tickets, like, are they going to scan? Are they going to work? Managed to get in. That was all fine. And then we hit the fabric store and it was pretty damn sick, right? Hey, Dubsy, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Sam was quite literally a kid in a candy shop.
Yeah, probably.
It was literally, you know how a kid will run up to something, bang, bong, in the pick and mix box. Like it was, it was quite literally like that. There was tons and tons of pieces. There was one wall that was dedicated to tiles.
The biggest wall.
The biggest wall was all dedicated to tiles, which was I really appreciated. Half of it was like regular tile, and then the other half of it pretty much was printed tile.
I wasn't expecting there to be nearly as many prints as they had.
No, and the good thing about, so the way they do it, minus animals and some like really specific large pieces like boat holes and other pieces, everything is done on weight, which is super convenient because you can just shovel it into the bag and it's all done on weight, and that included printed pieces. So printed pieces are like really good value there. Yeah. It's 100, every 100 grams is 10 euros.
Yeah.
So it worked out, I don't know the exact conversion I got, but I think when I worked out just before I went, it was like 887 or something per 100 grams in pounds. So pretty good value. Obviously the smaller the piece, the more pieces for your money you're going to get.
Yeah.
But you also do have to kind of compare it to Bricklink, or I mean, I would hazard a guess that except for maybe some of what, can you remember how much you worked out the 16x16 plates to be? Was it like 4 something?
I think you could get about 3 of them in for the 10 euros.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like they were quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh dear. But the small pieces were the way to go. Tile worked really well.
Sorry, jank setup playing up here.
It's so good. It's so good. Plant pieces as well. There's a really good selection of plant pieces. So that was good.
I was shocked at how many plant pieces I was buying. I was like, I've missed lug bulk. I need these spurs.
Yeah, but you don't need it did get a bit so my strategy was I was gonna kind of I knew that the tile was like the biggest thing I wanted to get because I knew that that was where I was gonna make the most quote unquote saving, like because I know that that stuff is super expensive on Bricklink and on Pab Online, so I knew that that's what I wanted to kind of tackle first. I did want to get some of the printed stuff to sell at shows as well when me and Paige go and sell at shows. So that was kind of on my mind, and a lot of the other bits were quite like specific or random. Like the back had like all 1x1 plates, but other than that, it was kind of you had like a plant section, you had like the boats and animals, then you had like a Technic island, then you had like light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, just random pieces, and then the far wall was like all just completely whatever, right?
Some of it was like just basic brick, and then some of it was just weird stuff.
Yeah. So I knew that the tile was where I wanted to spend a good portion of my money. So I kind of worked from left to right. I did. So when Mike, when you, I got a question for you. When you went, did they tell you to just put 100 grams in any one bag? Because when you did it, I saw you got like tons of bags. Or was that just because you didn't like want to sort it after as well? Because there were a load of kids in there. There was adults as well. Because there was loads of kids in there, they were obviously just like grabbing handfuls of pieces and then put it in a
They were
bag.
building things and putting the build into the bag
Yeah,
as it was.
yeah. And so like we were like, we we were a bit cheeky. We kind of thought if we bundled them all in together, it would be harder for them to tell if we got exactly 100 grams or not.
I don't think they check that too thoroughly unless you're like taking the mic. I don't think they'd notice.
They did kind of like place I don't know if they were looking for other things in the bag, but a couple of my bigger bags of tiles, they did kind of like almost like spread the bag out and kind of have a little rummage through, but
Oh,
maybe they were
they
looking to
didn't do
see
that for
if
mine.
maybe they were
Maybe you
just
just
looking to
look
see
dodgier.
if they saw animals. Maybe, probably, honestly. I was very sweating still from our journey and
All right.
there.
We weren't sweating at this point. We were fine.
The curse of not that Sam Smith strikes back for sure. For sure. What made me laugh in the vid, Sam's filming the traffic and then saying, what a lovely day it was.
It
Yeah,
was a
that was
lovely
good.
day.
It was a really nice day.
We got really nice weather.
Yeah, it was lovely weather. And we'll buy it from you. I will buy tiles aplenty. There was a lot. We got a good chunk of tile for sure. On the tile wall, was there a lot of plain ones like 4x1 in brown, etc.? The main colors were white, black, light bluish gray, and dark bluish gray, right?
And tan. There was quite a lot of tan.
Oh, and tan, yeah.
There might have been reddish brown there as well.
There was maybe 2x3, I think. There's not oh, 1 second. No one told me anything. I just guessed. Fair enough. But I wanted to be kind of sorted. You could easily get 130 grams or maybe more a bag, but you can mix and see fit unless sold per piece. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'll go grab the bag in a second, and we can have a little rummage through some of the stuff I got. But yeah, it was like there was like so they didn't have 2x2, but and maybe this was just because it was coming to the end of the season. Like the last day that the park was like officially open was the Sunday, and we were there on the Friday. There were like they didn't have the seals, did they? They didn't have
No. I was expecting more to be out of stock than actually was for being that close to closing.
But there was a couple of the bins that were kind of like turned upside down that they hadn't like replaced it with anything. But okay, let me go grab the pieces. 1 second.
I'm on the Sith. I have not. I've moved rooms, but I'm just basically the carpet's getting redone in my Lego room, so everything had to be out, and this is just temporary before I can get it all back in. Did Tech get orcas? Oh, did he? Did he quite? Told me to get him some as well to not hit, so he could go past the limit. So yeah, I found there was quite a lot of like different trans clear stuff in like a lot of different colors. That had its own little section, so that was quite weirdly specific. But there was a lot of like really good, like. Some of it I was expecting it to be a lot more just basic parts, but there was some like quite interesting specialized stuff there as well. So I was definitely very happy with the selection. Yeah, Mark. A lot of like the purple opal stuff, like the cylinders. I kept saying to Tech, like, I want a whole bag of this, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I'll just take a little pinch instead. Because I didn't want to go too crazy because I would like to have funds afterwards as well. Yeah, it's dangerous because you like you think, oh, it's just like little 100 bags, but then when you get them all together and you realize how many you've got, it gets. Yeah, I got so many of like the trans blue and the trans pink ferns, and Tech kept saying, "What are you gonna do with all those ferns?" And I said, "It doesn't matter. They're cool."
I was trying to be responsible.
Yeah, but like they're fun. I will definitely find a use for them at some part. Yeah, Dubsy, like so many. They had like a really quite a lot of trans clear stuff. And again, like the tiles, some of them were like tiles that have just been in one individual set. Like there was a load from like the Ideas Viking Village. There was a load from the Lego van, the Lego truck or whatever. Fern mech, potentially. You never know. I don't know what theme that would fit under, but but potentially. Exactly. Who cares? Ferns are ferns. And as I said, I missed Lugblock this year, which is where a lot of the ferns were on. So it's like I need to get up my numbers.
Okay. So
here we go.
this is my bag. It's quite sizable. Okay, so we were pleasantly surprised. So the main reason that I went on this whole trip was to get cheaper orcas.
That was the whole reason.
And I've got my cheaper orcas.
How many of them have you got?
Did I end up with 7?
I think you did.
I think I ended up with 7. So the animals were you could only buy 5, right?
Of one specific animal, yeah.
Yeah. So I did get Sam to get Sam. You got 1, right?
I've got 1 for myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
got
bought
1 for
3
yourself.
to give you 2.
And I was like, I'll get 7. I've got the actual set, which is 8, which makes 8, and then hopefully in the future they come out with a baby or like a calf, and then I can add to my pod. Orca mech, Orca army. 7 orcas they were 9 10 euros, right?
I think they were 10 euros for the orca.
Yeah.
I think they were the most expensive thing there.
That and the shark.
Was the shark 10? I thought the shark was 8.
No, I think the shark was 10.
No, it might have been. I did get a shark as well.
Yeah, it's a bargain, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bargain, isn't it? This is right. So we're not down talking prices again because Paige is in the back of my.
700 euros isn't that much money at the end of the day.
700 euros. You're the worst. You're the worst.
Oh,
So,
what was it?
Is in fact, let me switch. What is it with orcas? I just love the orcas, man. They're so cool. They're incredible.
Yeah, I've been asking myself that for a while.
Right, let's how do I is that the right one? There we go. Oh, it is completely upside down. It's not on. So what's in this one? Okay, so this was the bag that I ended up going back for. So they basically had like a cabinet with all the small animals.
Yeah, and like really
Mark just says
specialized stuff.
Paige hasn't been told the total. Oh, more popcorn needed.
What we do is you put all the parts out and then ask Paige how much does she think it's worth.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we
Yeah,
tell her the actual amount.
and then we don't tell her, and we go, "Huh, good guess," and then leave it at
And then we say yes, correct.
that. Yeah. So I got. They did have the baby seals. And the baby. So they had like small animals in the cabinet. Some of them you could buy individually. Some of them were you bought as like as a pack. And so they did the little polar bear and the little seal as a pack. I think I got 3 of those. I did get one of the seal sets. I was really hoping they had the bigger seals, but they were one of the animals that were sold out. Did I get the animals for Simon? I will get to that in just a second, Emily. So they're cute. I got 5 of the so the red panda and the baby gorilla came in a pack. So I got 5 of those for my little troop of what are they called? Gorillas. I got 1 of each of, I think these were €1.50. The 2 baby crocodiles in the 2 different colors, sand green and green, or bright green, is it?
Olive green and sand green.
Olive green and sand green. There you go. So that's cool. That was all the small animals, although there should have been. Oh, sorry. I got 2 of the polar bears, the baby polar bears and the baby seals, and then these I couldn't resist. And if we tell Paige that this is like the biggest cost of the trip, or like the majority of the funds, then I don't think she'll be too mad. So I have the white baby already. Ooh. But they had a. It is purple, right? Or have I got this wrong? It's not purple, is it?
That's teal.
It's teal. Okay, I got that wrong. I thought it was purple. That's my being colorblind. That's some. Yeah, I know. I got that horribly wrong. Damn my colorblindness. Either way, I've got 2 new babies.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Oh dear. Are you selling a red panda by any chance? I actually will, Emily. That's not a problem. I was getting these mainly. I'll keep like 2 or 3 of them, but yeah, you can definitely have one. The baby gorilla was the bigger draw for me for to get those. Okay, so that was the big that was the small animals. So we'll go on to the big animals. So we've got
another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
It's gonna need a big old pen for these things.
Yeah, there's no way you use all 8 of these in the same build.
Bet.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh dear. So there's my 8 orcas. I got which is this from the Explorer boat or the submarine one? I couldn't work it out.
I think the orcas in the boat, the sharks.
No. Sorry, the great white. We've had 2 great whites in the last like 4 years. They're slightly different. One came in the boat that looks kind of similar to the orca boat, and one come in that £90 set that got reduced in Sainsbury's to like 40.
The one that got reduced was the one that had the orca in it. No, the one that got reduced was the submarine.
Yeah, that had the shark in it.
That had the shark. Okay.
But I can't remember if the old big boat that came out in like 2020 had a great white shark in it. But I think the 2 sharks are different.
Okay.
So I don't know which one this is. I'm assuming it's the most recent one,
Yeah, it will be.
but I missed out on that boat and I didn't want the submarine, so I was like, I gotta get the shark. I expect nothing less of but bloody hell tech. Well Hunter's dream right there. I know that's a sad thought.
That's what the mock can be.
No.
It's the only way you're going to use that many.
No, I'm gonna do Free Willy going home to his family. That's what I'm
I
gonna
don't
do.
remember free.
And so the other animal I got, they did put the horns in as well. But I got one of the cows. I thought this one was quite cute. But they did give me the horns, and I think they gave me the brick as well to put in the thing. But what was our biggest surprise? I'm definitely not doing a SeaWorld mock. I'm not endorsing that, Sith. What we were pleasantly surprised to see were some more recent animals. So we got the new tiger that comes in the new city sets. So I just got one of the tigers. Probably should have got two. But I guess we'll go back, right?
Why?
Because there's more than wait, how many tigers is there in the Lion in not in the
Lion King?
No, in like Disney, there's Raja and there's is it Bagheera?
Sure.
No, there's one in Tarzan. There's one in.
Is there one in Tarzan? Is that not a leopard?
No. Oh yeah, you might be right actually. Very good.
I can think of Jungle Book and the other one you said. Aladdin.
Aladdin, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Scott, how you doing, man? Good to see you. And then the other one that we were like super gassed about were the gorillas. So they had the gorillas, arms and all. Yes, the orcas do all have their own jaws. So yeah, we got again, it was max 5. So I got some. I've got
both
2.
Got 5 of those.
Yeah, we both bought 5 each. So I've got 2 for Simon.
And I think I've got 2 for Gaz.
Yes. And 2 for Gaz. So we managed to get all our gorillas. In fact, I really wasn't expecting to see these.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. So that was like a very pleasant surprise.
Oh yeah, how many gorillas do you need for Tarzan?
Well, that would be a lot.
50.
Yeah. But I would need a brown one. Ooh, if they do a different color, that'd be cool. That would be cool if they did a different color. But yeah, these are great finds. So the animals again were like a big chunk of the budget, but I think you're never gonna get them cheaper. Like
no.
I think in fact, do I have? I might be able to tell you. Yeah. So the orca was 10. Oh god, I got to translate. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Gorilla is in English.
I reckon it's probably the seal.
So the gorilla was 9. What's a high gross? Oh, that must have been the shark, I reckon, which was also 9. The tiger, I reckon, is tiger. Was 8, and the kuh, which by process of elimination is the cow, was also 8. That. So that's yeah, that was the animals. God. All right, so I'll just otherwise it's gonna get incredibly messy here.
Yeah.
What animals did you get, Sam?
I got 3 orcas, 2 of which I gave to you, 5 gorillas, and 1 cow and 1 grey white. I don't think I got a tiger. And then a bunch of the little ones as well.
I probably should have got horses. They had, I think, 2 different colored horses.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one I had. So I just kind of like,
there's a lot of Disney horses.
Yeah. And they had all of the, what are they called? bards that go over the horses, the knight stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're
clothes.
called, but
Cloaks.
okay. So yeah, some of these parts I did get just in a single bag. So this first one is about 100 grams of just 1x1 white plate. Because like we said, the cheaper or the smaller the piece, the better value it was gonna be. And so yeah, 1x1 plate in white. I got a bag of those. I'll try to find all my individually wrapped ones before I then pull out. So I got also 1x3 white tile. There might be a bit of a theme to some of the colors on on this. What's that one? Dark tan 1x1, which is a kind of a funny one to try and find. It's like a weird. You wouldn't expect it to be a hard piece to find in large quantities on Bricklink, but sometimes it can be. At least I did. Yeah. I found it so when we were getting parts of the pod race. 1x1 white square tile. The like corner plate. Sorry, the corner tile. Let me turn down this light a little bit, or just completely. The corner tile in white. We've got the core, like the 1x1 quarter tile in tan. Because I was just going through them like nobody's business for the pod race. More of those 2x2 corner tiles in tan. Again, also going through a load of those. They did have 2x3 tan tile. Which tan tile did you like pick the last of? Was it 2x4?
2x4 I cleaned out.
Yeah. But I was looking at the 2x3 and I don't think I ended up getting any of the tan 2x3 purely because I've done so much of the terrain for the pod race at the moment, or like so far, that if I just started to add a load of new pieces, I didn't know necessarily how I think that might look for like consistency wise, continuity wise. I don't know. That was just one little sub thing that I managed to pull myself or to say no to one piece for. These were a piece that I wish we had 2 years ago. But they are the finger leaf pieces in olive green.
Yeah.
So they're surprisingly like you get like a really good chunk.
They're a lot lighter than we expected.
Yeah, they were in like one Scarif set and then one gift for purchase, I think. So
I think there's more out now. I think there were some like some botanicals.
Oh, okay.
But for the longest time, they were so hard to come by.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna have to do Scarif again, Sam, right?
You can do Scarif again.
I actually plan to do Scarif again.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So that's part of the reason why I got those. I just knew I'd
get that 80/80 out again.
Yeah, dust that old thing off. This is more of the quarter tile, but in white. So, I can't tell why. Like these feel so vacuum packed. Is that because of the flight? Do you reckon? It's got to be, right? I don't remember like squeezing every inch of air out of these. Like, huh? They are. Oh, hey Ty, how you doing, man? Good to see you. We are both very well, thank you. We are just getting over the hangover of doing Legoland Germany as a trip in one day. But yeah, no, we're good. And they are roughly 100-gram bags. Yes. I did have to be more picky with these ones because they were like the limit is of any one piece is meant to be 100 grams. There is absolutely no way that they can police that efficiently. Unless you were to do like a whole bag and then they might go, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was another.
Oh, my biggest complaint about the fabric store. Why is there only one scale in that building
Yeah,
that's like
yeah. Mike
accessible
did
to the
say,
public
yeah,
before
Mike
you
did
get to
say
the
that
till?
actually.
Give us more than one. Come on.
Yeah. Hey Ross, how you doing, man? I did not think to individually bag each piece, so I only did it on. Well, I did it on a good chunk of the pieces. Actually, looking at it, I saw that Emily uploaded her video the other day, and or was it today or yesterday? I can't wait to watch that. I'm looking forward to it. But I hope you got tons of good pieces anyway. What else we got in here? Oh, so they had some gold pieces. I saw they had one by two gold tile as like a like as a random piece in another box, and I was searching
Uh-huh.
and searching and searching and trying to find it, but I couldn't find them. But I did get gold one by ones and gold ingot tiles. And I think I just did like 100 grams of those as like mixed. Okay, there's 2 more bags of individually wrapped parts, and then we'll crack open some of the tiles. I've got a rogue 2x4 brick in there, 2x2 brick in there. Corner plate in 1x2. Sorry, corner plate in white. Just another really useful piece for texturing. And then light bluish gray 2x4 tile. That was the other one I got of like 100 grams. So my other 2 bags. Excuse me. They were like pretty much just a jumble of a bunch of different tiles. Now, I could do with finding a tray to pour these out on. I think I did like one of mainly printed tile, and then one of just like general tile for my personal collection. Let me see if I can find a tray. 1 second, Sam. You're in charge.
Oh God. So yeah. Any questions? I'll be happy to answer. I should have thought of something to say in this section. I've thought of something. My strategy to packing my bags was a bit different than Tex. I couldn't.
There was no strategy.
No, you had more strategy than I did. I basically ended up just building like 3 bags of 300 grams of parts, just so I generally knew in my head how much I was spending as I was going, because I didn't want to get to the till and then the lady goes, "That'll be 800 euros, please." And I'll be like, "I'm gonna have to put half of this back." Thank you very much.
Which she did anyway.
She did anyway. Tex was 2 grand, so I'm all right actually.
Yeah, exactly. Paige knows there's not a credit card in my possession that has that sort of availability on it. Oh dear. Okay, right. So,
yeah, I built bags which were basically 300 grams each, mixed around in different parts, and I tried to like limit myself the best I could by not getting too many pieces that weren't that I couldn't think of an immediate use for. Although I did get quite a lot of fun parts. Am I getting over the jet lag? Just about. The jet lag wasn't too bad of a feature. The legroom, however, was. I did significantly struggle both ways on the flight with that. Even the way back, I had an aisle to myself, and I still couldn't find the room for my legs. Somehow.
Now, I might not be able to fish out absolutely every single piece that I got from here, but this is like a good selection of some of the pieces. So I did get. I'm not necessarily convinced on the like it would have been like pretty competitive because of the quantity I got, I guess, but I did get some of the 6x6 tile I got some in light bluish gray, I got some in dark bluish gray, and I did get some in black as
Oh,
well.
I didn't even see those.
Oh, they were like right at the bottom of the tile.
That's probably why.
Looks like your box is shame tech. It really does. It really does. I just got some 1x8 tile because these are good for like mosaic borders. So I know I'm going to use those. Corner black tile. 2x3 black tile. Got a ton of those. The quarter. So these are on Pab in dark bluish gray. And I've definitely not used anywhere near as many as I've got, but I found them as quite a useful piece. So I got those in light bluish gray. There's like the corner dark bluish gray with a cutout. Got a few of those. Got 1x3 light bluish gray tile. 1x1 square dark bluish gray tile. We got medium nougat 3x3 rounds. 3x3 rounds in white. Some of the 1x2 tiles with the rounded edges in black. We've got some dark bluish gray cheese slopes. Some light bluish gray 3x3 rounds. What else we got in here? I think that was potentially a good chunk of it. Light bluish gray 1x1 tile.
Mark, that's what I do as well. Until I try to fall asleep, and then they come down the aisle with the drinks trolley and smash it into my leg. That's fun. And you think it'll push out the way, but you've got it like jammed in a spot where it doesn't move, so it just hits you like a wall.
Anything else at the bottom of it? I think that's mostly it. Oh, I got dark bluish gray 1x3 tile as well. Yeah, I think that was most of it. Tune into a sort it out stream in the next couple of weeks where I go through it all.
Coming to you soon.
Yeah, I think that was most of the tile there. So I will, Sam, while I just go on mute.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. I'm not good at this part. Yeah, I'd love to sit in the fire exit seats. I think they wanted to charge us £13 more a ticket to sit in them, and I'm like, I like my space, but it's not worth £13. Spend that in the Lego store. What did I get, Sam? I got quite a lot of tan tiles, quite a lot of ferns. That's said quite a lot. A lot of plant pieces in general, and then like with all the printed stuff, I'm sure Tech will get onto that in a minute. But I very much just went along each of the rows, didn't even look at like how useful they'd be, and just took a pinch out of every single one as I went around into a bag. So I should now be fine for printed tiles for a very, very long time. Yeah, it was like some I did get more of if I think they would be quite useful, but a lot of was just I probably have way too many of certain types now. I think Tech's getting into his printed tiles now. What else did I buy? The animals we already went through. I feel like I should be saying I got more stuff because spent a fair bit of money.
I would not be surprised if, aside from like basic brick, you got some Technic stuff, right? If some of the big Technic gears.
I got some big gears. They're really good value for what they normally cost.
I should have got some of those. They seem to have every color of firm palm and foliage pieces. They had a really good selection, yeah. To the point where I couldn't quite remember what I had. Like I was eliminating stuff based off if it had been on Pab or not, but okay, so the printed stuff, I was shocked at how cool some of the printed stuff is. I'm gonna go straight into it. none more cool than the 4x4.
Upside.
There we go. The 4x4 printed Lego tile from the Lego truck. That is such, to think you get this for, I don't even know. I think I probably got 100 grams worth of them because I just thought they are
You got a
such good
lot
value.
of.
Yeah, I got a lot of them. And I probably got a bit more because I dumped it in a bag of all printed tile. So this one I think will be quite popular to sell at conventions and stuff. So that's why I picked up a ton of those. I will keep some of them for myself as well. The printed road 2x2 dark bluish grey tile, again, doing packs of those I think could be quite popular for any of the city builders. They'll be good. Also the bike lane ones as well. I think these are in dark azure. Nice little tile piece. But yeah, they were like the big main ones. They had both of the koi carp 1x2 tiles. I don't know how, or if I definitely got a handful of both of them. I don't know if I've picked out both of them here. I don't think there's one of them anyway. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Just about there. So I got a bunch of those. And then I kind of just got some 1x1s that I thought would be like kind of useful. I'll probably just get like a tray of this at a convention and just do like however many for £1 or whatever of the small 1x1 stuff. But there was some fun stuff like the lock piece. That I thought was quite fun. They had the 1x1 like red warning pieces. What else do they have? Oh, they have the log ends. I didn't get any of the 2x2 ones. I probably should have got some of those. But I got the 1x1 log ends. They have the actual cheese slopes. Thought they were quite fun. It doesn't look like a lot else in here, but I think I got some more stuff. We have another. Probably found their way right to the bottom. I thought I got more of the 1x1s, but maybe not. Maybe it was mainly just all those. I probably should have got more like the food stuff. Yeah, I thought I would. Oh yeah, there's the other carp here. How many have they just done? 2 different types of carp? Or
I think it's just 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've just been reusing them in the Chinese sets and stuff.
I think so.
Yeah, there's the other one. So you got like the orangey one and then the white one. So probably do those as little packs. But yeah, that was pretty much everything, I think. Yeah, they had the 2x2 logs. Yeah, I don't know why. I must have just glossed over them again. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another like really small selection of maybe some of the food pieces, because I thought I got some more of the 1x1 food pieces, but maybe not. But I thought the road plate, the road tiles would be quite popular. Same with the bike lane, and then yeah, obviously these Lego tiles are so sick. I thought these would be great. So very happy to have all of those. Like I said, I will keep some of them, but then some of them I will be selling. If anyone's at Southampton, then be on the lookout. But yeah, so that was. I can switch back cameras now if I can remember how. That was everything that I got. Not a crazy amount of variation necessarily.
No.
I really was trying my best to. So one of the good things about doing like the individually bagged things is also it's so much easier to like keep a rough track of how much you're spending. Like Sam said, you can like pile loads of pieces in there, but then you can very quickly get carried away, because 100 grams in certain pieces
There's
goes
not a
very
lot.
quickly, or at least a lot quicker than you would like, and so then you just end up spending. I think there was a couple of pieces that I put into one bag that I ended up like just pouring back out, because I was like, no, I didn't need these, and I really was trying to think, what are my mocks coming up that I really want to do, and what will be most beneficial for those. But yeah, that was it. Was there any other, like, I think you talked about it, but yeah, I just didn't get many of the plant pieces because there's not too many mocks that I think I've got coming up that I'm like, I need a ton of plant pieces. I probably should have got some of the ferns, but I did get some on Lug Bulk.
Yeah, you should be fine
Um,
then.
so I couldn't quite remember like what I got from there, and I didn't want to just get a ton. And I didn't. If I had then gone and I got those olive finger leaves that I was really happy with, but if I'd have gone in on plants as well, I could have went and spent another €100, and and I just
And that would
wasn't.
have brought you up to 17,000.
And so yeah, I will. I'm sure I'll be back there for the plants. That'll be my that'll be the priority next time, is because I've got a good chunk of the other, of like the tile and stuff now as well. Oh wait, which was did you get the blacksmith tile? Love that. I don't know if I did.
I got a couple.
Yeah, I should.
It's,
I kind of stupidly, because like a lot of those printed ones are for selling. I should have literally just did like a very small handful of pretty much all of them. But I was
yeah.
really trying to go like, oh, what will actually be most popular? And I think the Lego ones will be good. The bigger tiles definitely, and then yeah, but yeah, just having like a tray of different 1x1s would probably have been a bit better, just for variation and stuff. But yeah, I think I spent well over 100 on plants, dude. There was so much that it would, yeah, it was so easy. They had the ferns, they had the double ferns, which I know I've got none of, but
They had the
again, I
ferns,
don't.
they had the big like individual palm leaves. I got quite a lot of those as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they will, like I said, next time I go, I will prioritize getting those. But there's not a mock that I plan to do in the next, like, large scale mock where I need tons and tons of them, that I'm gonna need plant pieces on that, like, by that quantity. I don't think, or as it stands anyway. Maybe something will come up, but Sammy, you're looking a bit blurry.
Oh, am I?
A little bit.
What happened?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're good again. When do we discover Sam's further adventures? Okay. Yeah, let's hope they get different pieces
Let's get
next year.
back on track to the story.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will say before we do move on is they had more, like, the gorillas and the tigers being one, but some of the fern pieces as well. They had some new pieces on there that I was quite surprised. So I'm going to keep a watchful eye on some of the walkthrough videos from some of the German YouTube channels to like see when it opens up again, like how many new parts they have. I'm very intrigued to see. Yeah, to see how quickly they do revamp it. And then it'll kind of make my decision on how quickly I go back. But yeah, so we spent how long do you think we spent in the shop?
We arrived at the park at about.
It's just gone one.
Yeah, just gone one. We were in there till it got to be at least 4.
Yeah, I
We
think
were
it
there
was
for like at least a good 3 hours.
1:30. I think I said to you 15 minutes at 3:15.
3:15. Check in your phone when you recorded us
see.
outside of it and see what time that says.
Oh yeah, hang on. It's on my
Although I don't know if that would have converted the time back to UK time or not.
How long were we in the shop for?
Oh no, I've got myself back into my own. Yeah, Gaz. Yeah, it's a it's an interesting further adventure. It's probably good to mention that I didn't sleep the night before because of how early I had to get to the airport. That's probably a good point to put in there as well. I had to leave my house at 1 a.m. So I was like, what's the point in going to bed?
Oh yeah, okay, so my phone's gonna have changed the times. So we took a selfie outside the Legoland sign at 12:22. So
So that
I'm
would have been
assuming that would have been
1:22.
1:22. And then I filmed us outside. Where's it gone? Yeah, it was 3:15. I see. I gave you a 15-minute warning.
Okay.
And that checks out because yeah, we come out at about 3:30, and then I ran back in.
Yeah.
And then by 4, there was like one ride that I wanted to. There was 2 actually, and I probably picked the least favorable one to do in the end. But the Mythica. So Germany is like quite renowned for their theme parks, right? They have like quite big, big theme parks. And so I just found it like a crazy concept that Legoland had a ride, 2 rides, I think, that went upside down. So I was like, okay, I got to give that a go. So the Mythica ride there, that went upside down. It was very short though. We queued what, an hour for it?
Yeah, an hour and a bit.
Yeah. And yeah, it was over in seconds. So that was a bit of a shame. Probably could have done something else, or I don't know, maybe spend a bit more time in the shop. Huh?
Gone home earlier.
Oh god, or just left earlier. Yeah. So yeah, so we did that. We were leaving the park about. In fact, I can tell you actually more about these timestamps. Quite useful, aren't they? By the time we'd done that, we were in the shop. We ran through the shop real quick.
I've never seen a Lego shop as busy as that one was.
You could barely move.
Couldn't move.
We ran through. It was hell. Like it was terrible. That was just gone 5:30. We were going through there. And then yeah, so then we knew we obviously had about 20% battery on the car.
Yeah.
And this is where it started to
I think we kept saying, right, we want to leave by 5.
Yeah.
And it was a lot closer to 5:30 by the time we were actually leaving.
Yeah. Do you want to?
And then this is where the stress started to begin. Was here.
Do you want to carry on, or?
Yeah. So we got out of the car park, and then went to started going down the road, and to the point where we're about at 10% charge or whatever. I was like, right, we need to get off at the next charging station. So we get off at the next one. And we look around to see where the charging is, and there's these Tesla superchargers.
Right, perfect.
Right, electric cars. Let's hook onto that. The one that we were at earlier in the day on the way there had a nice big screen on it, where you could choose the language and you could see exactly what it was doing and what to do. The Tesla supercharger had no buttons on it, no screen on it. It didn't tell you what to do or how to do it. So we didn't really know what was going on. So we kind of just plugged it in and hoped it would charge the car.
just hoped Elon Musk would pop out and go like a hologram and go.
He's rich. He's just giving anyone charge.
Yeah.
It didn't work, and because of that, we both assumed, it must only charge Teslas.
That was just my only logical thing. Is like, yeah, you would know it's not a Tesla or something.
Yeah. So we then went around the car park a little bit to see if we could find another one. We couldn't, so we checked on the board of the car. There was a section which says "Find my nearest charging point," and it didn't give us the Tesla ones as an option.
No,
it said the nearest one was what I think it was 17 kilometers away, and we had 10 kilometers left in the car.
Yeah,
we were like, right, well, we can't get to that either, so we're going to be stranded on the motorway.
It was at this point we were like, we cannot stand electric cars. How are these practical?
No,
Wasn't
no,
it?
no, no. We just. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the point. I was there. We weren't quite there yet. So we went back to the Tesla charger. I was like, this has to work because we've got nothing else.
Yeah.
So we end up, Tech starts talking to these guys in the car next to us about how do you get these to work? Or can you charge any car with these?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you can, but you got to download the app. So here we are in this freezing cold car park. It felt later than it was. It felt like, because it was quite an empty car park, it felt quite late, even though it wasn't. Trying to get this app to work. And eventually we did. And then we put the thing in charging, and then it charges 2% and then stops. And then we're like, oh, what's wrong? And then we never figured out what was wrong with it. Charged another 2%, stopped. We're like, oh my god. Eventually we got it charging consistently. And then we went into the Burger King to go have dinner because neither of us had eaten the entire time this day except for a tech and ice cream at one point. I think that was all we had.
The service in the last
so we sat in the Burger King. That's where that section of the vlogs filmed.
Yeah.
And then, as we sat there, Ted goes to the toilet and comes out, and he just shouts to me, "It stopped charging again."
So I bombed.
This is the point I hate electric cars. So we run back out to the car. It's at like 65% now.
Yeah.
Remember, we have to deliver it back to the place at 60%.
Yeah.
We very quickly realized that's not happening.
Yeah.
Because not only would we need to get it to 100 now, we'd have to charge it again by the time we get there before we could drop it off, which we just blew off. So we just sat there until I think we'd agreed to get it to like 75% or something, and then we were just going to go. In the meantime, I'm like looking up the YouTube videos of where to drop off the car.
Yeah, but at this point, like our time, because of the faff that it took to download the Tesla app, sign up,
to get it charging,
to actually get
there like a good half an hour, 45 minutes trying to get it to work.
If you include driving to the close petrol station that didn't have a charging point, then driving back, we probably spent the best part of an hour just trying to get the car charging, which again, it would have been absolutely fine if we knew what we were doing and we,
or if we had a petrol car which filled up immediately, we could just go.
Exactly.
Hence why the electric car was the issue.
Yeah. So that was inconvenient, and then at this point we were really starting to run out of time.
What time was it when we left this car park?
So I filmed the Burger King segment at 7.
I think we were 45 minutes away from the airport from where we were. So this would have been 7:30 we left there probably.
Yeah.
Mind you, we had to be the plane was 35 minutes past 8.
Yeah. So our times for the flight were 9:05 leaving.
Yeah.
8:35 boarding.
So technically, because it was an international flight, we should have been there at 6:30.
Yeah.
Which was already an hour ago.
Which is already risky. The one lucky thing is we didn't have a bag to check in, so that was that really helped us. It helped that we were the last ones to go through security of the day.
Yeah.
So that was empty.
We'll get to there. We'll get to there in a bit. So we were driving there, and we decided we turned off all the heating of the car. We turned off the screen. We turned off we had to get as much power saving to the car as possible to keep our percentage up. So I was doing the actual what you call it, maps up on Tech's phone, and I noticed that the time on it kept increasing. And this was because we were on a 120-kilometer-an-hour road, but the car was eco-locked at going a maximum of 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
So we couldn't let us go faster.
So yeah, it's just the
so our time was wrong on the thing.
I think originally we were due to get when we set out, Was it like just before 8 we were meant to get to the car, like to the car park garage with the sat nav, and then
It might have been a bit later than that, but I know by the end it was like 20 past 8. We were supposed to get there.
yeah. So we had
Which, when we're boarding the plane at 8:35, is tight.
very,
To
very
drop off the
tight.
car, go through security, and get to the gate.
We were so fortunate. One lucky thing, we knew the distance, and this is one thing that was a positive that that could have like really screwed us over. But one positive of us leaving the first car and walking back down to the terminal, we knew how to get from the car
How'd you
park
get there?
to
Yeah.
the terminal without going the long way that we went the first way. Like we could
Yeah.
walk once you're on the top floor of the parking garage where we left the second car, you just walk out and then you can see the terminal and it's like quite a quick walk. But when you're going to the
Run
lower
in
levels,
our case.
yeah, when you're really favorable. But when we were picking up the car, when you're on the lower levels, you have to go quite a way around. It's quite convoluted. So if we were trying to navigate that, we probably would have missed it.
Yeah.
But
Speaking
yeah,
of missing things, on our first attempt to try to drop off the car, I gave the wrong exit. So
oh yeah,
we'll only go around.
luckily
That was me following the map though, because the map had taken us to where we picked up the car, not where we picked up the keys of the car, not where the pickup
in
point
our
was.
defense, like there was a video, but there also was like a QR code that gave you the address to
The
put in.
video was right. The address was wrong.
Yeah, so they gave you a video address, and it ended up taking you to like the quick drop off, as if you were like had a passenger, or like if you were a taxi, or you were dropping someone off at the front of the terminal. It took us in there, and when I got to the thing, it was like 0 to 30 minutes, €10, and I was like, I just drove straight through, and we managed.
I was like, no, this is not right.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly. Guys are like more battery percentage used. I'm like, oh god. But luckily, we managed to come out.
What percentage was the car when we dropped it off? Do you remember?
I think it was like 40. It
Okay.
wasn't it wasn't terrible. It wasn't too bad. I think it was 40 something.
Okay.
Low 40s. So it was only 20% under. I guess another thing that kind of screwed us over for time is like, again, it's out of everyone's control, but had it been on 100% charge, we would have got to Legoland no problem. We wouldn't have had to stop the first time. And then we probably wouldn't have saved time in the long run. We probably would have stayed at the park just as late, but like,
yeah, because we wouldn't know how long it takes to charge. So it could.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So recommend this car hire company then? I mean, the staff were lovely.
I actually would. They did not ask us that many questions when we said, hi, our car is blown up. And we thought we'd get interrogated by them. They were quite understanding about it.
I haven't heard from them, but I have had my security deposit released on my credit card. So
okay.
Thus far, I'll give it another week.
Yeah.
I'm half expecting them to take some money for the for the charge, but yeah. Yeah. It was quite the adventure, but we did manage to bomb it to. Luckily, the gate was
as we were driving there, Tech just says, right, when we get off, you're gonna run. And I kept saying, I don't know if I can run. And he's going, no, you are going to run.
You have to run. I was like, I am not missing this plane. I've got a baby at home that I want to see. Paige will never let me out of the house again if I'm not back in a day. I just all these things go through. I was like, Sam, I am running for this flight. I will try and make them stop the plane, but I don't think I have that power. And I
guess it's fine. Just get to the gate and tell them I'm coming.
Yeah, sounds all like blasé about it. It's like, no, you just get there and tell them. I was like, these Germans that are on the last flight, they are not going to want to wait around as you're. But after all that, we got there with 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, we got through the security. There was no one else there.
Yeah,
very quickly, and it was literally the first gate around the corner.
And yeah, luckily it was one of the really close gates.
So I think we got very lucky at the end there.
We did. We breathed a sigh of relief, and it was touch and go. Sam asked me in the car what percentage I thought we were going to make this flight, and because the time just kept getting
You said
later and later,
25%, and that
I
horrified me.
I was like, I was just like, I think it was more. I don't know, like 20. We had 15 minutes from dropping off the car.
I thought dropping off the car would be a lot more extended process than it was.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be the
God it was
same as
just like a
picking it
key
up. We'd have to
deposit
go to the
box.
desk and such and such.
Yeah. Thank God it's just a key deposit box, and we were away then. But it was, yeah, we had 15 minutes from dropping the car. Like, if the car hire had been further away, if it was at a further terminal, or even the boarding gate was further away, any of those things by the smallest of margins, and it could have been done for, and we could have been on the first plane home instead. But we lived to tell the tale. Although we got back to Heathrow, and I said my budding farewell to Sam, and I said,
Right, yeah. Okay, so Texas came back to me, and he said, "Text me when you get home."
Yeah.
What time did I text you that I was home?
I'll pull it up. Bearing in mind,
what time did we leave each other? And what time did I tell you that I'd gotten home by?
We left at, again, this is just the beauty of this. We were at Terminal 3 at 10 o'clock. Yeah. And that would have been UK time. And you messaged me at... you texted me to say you got home at 4:43.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You were due
a good 7 hours later.
You were due to get back at what, like 12:30?
It was gonna be 12:30 or 1:30, not 4:45.
Hey Ruth, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's been a minute. But yeah, hope you're good. Good to have you here. We're just recapping our recent day excursion to Legoland, Germany. We went for cheap and good pab, and it turned out to be chaos, as most things are when me and Sam get together. But it was a great time. But yeah, Sam had as if Sam
I'd have been
didn't have
faster
enough
if I walked
chaos.
it.
He was like, I'm gonna add a bit more to this. But yeah, God, Sam, take us away.
So, as you said, we landed at about 9:30. Ended up leaving each other about 10. Basically, the coaches that I could get back to Southampton from Heathrow there was one at 10:15. The next one was at 11:30, and then the one after that was 1:20. So I initially booked a ticket for the 11:30 one, because I thought, we were initially supposed to get in at about 10:05 or something. I was like, it's going to be a little bit too tight. I'm not going to risk it. We ended up getting in a lot earlier that I could have gotten onto that 10 o'clock, that 10:15 one. I go up to the guy and show him my ticket, saying, "I'm on the next bus. Is there any spare seats?" He goes, "No." In hindsight, I should have gotten on this bus if I were to just stand in it. That should have been what I took. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll just wait then for the next hour and 15 minutes. So I sat there on the lovely cold central bus station platform, waiting for the bus to show up. 11:30 comes, no bus. It comes to like 11:45, no bus. I don't see anyone around working there to talk to. I go into the actual place where like the departure board is. It's still up on the board, so at least I know it's not being cancelled or anything. And then like once midnight comes, all of the buses from the previous day like disappear. So then it comes to midnight and it's gone. And I'm like, great. And I can see a couple of other people around me like looking at their phones and looking up as well, who are like clearly on the same bus. So at least I know I wasn't alone. Then a guy comes along, and I just asked him, saying, "Hi, the 11 bus to Southampton, it seems to have come off the board." And he goes, "Oh, yeah," like he said this to 20 other people already. Yeah, the driver got lost on his way from Gatwick. Now, I don't want to be judgmental, but I think a coach driver that does a certain route every single day shouldn't really be getting lost on it.
Hey, in fairness, Sam,
Between Gatwick and Heathrow is quite well signposted.
How many times you made that journey? Sorry, not the time. Sam, carry on.
I was like, oh, okay. So then about 1:30, 10 minutes before the next one shows up, mind you, our bus finally rocks round. And we all get onto the bus. And I'm like, okay, so it's gonna be about a bit later. So I'm gonna end up getting home at like 2:30 because it was like a 2-hour coach ride back to Southampton. Like it's fine enough. I'm on the coach. It's fine. So I'm sat on the coach and it starts going. And as I said before, I hadn't slept the night before. So I'm sat on it and I'm just like, oh yeah. And then I happen to fall asleep. I wake up in Bournemouth.
Okay, I gotta just interject here. I've known Sam a good chunk of years now. There has never been a story that's ended well, or that's anything followed. I fell asleep. Nothing positive or productive has ever followed those words. And I carry on.
Yeah. So I sleep straight to Southampton, straight out of the city, and then I like wake up and I'm like I check my my phone and it's like it's 3:15. How are we not there yet? Has the driver gotten lost again? And then I see the sign of like the above, like the next stop, and it says Bournemouth. And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, because I know what's happened. And I'm like, at this point, I was genuinely considering getting a taxi back to my house from Bournemouth to see what the heck costs. But when I got there, I looked and there was another coach going back to Heathrow. And I was like, right, do you go through Southampton? And I was like, yes. I was like, so I got a ticket back onto that coach. Peeled my eyes open, like I'm not falling asleep on this bus. Back to Southampton to get off, to then get a taxi back from Southampton coach station to my house, getting back home at 4:45 in the morning.
Of which you had work, right?
I had work at 1. It wasn't a fun shift. I wasn't much of a conversationalist that day, to say the least.
It was. I woke up in bed with Paige on the Saturday and I said, "Oh God," and she was like, "What?" I said, yeah, "I told Sam to text me when he got home," and and he was like, "Do you want to know what time he texted me? 4:30."
Oh, I was so angry. I couldn't even believe it.
It is the most Sam thing for you to fall asleep and miss your stop, though. Like, it is the most Sam thing.
Yeah, I'm normally quite good for it, like for waking up on time, but it's just
like you said. To be fair, apart from a little bit of shut eye in the car and a little bit on the plane,
yeah,
we really didn't have a lot of sleep at all. Yeah. Oh dear, what an experience. So, would you do it again?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would too. I honestly would too. Mike said earlier, I think the problem was you got there a bit late. I
think if the first car worked, everything would have been fine.
Yeah. We lost, I reckon. Yeah, because we got the earliest flight. So if you're going to do it in a day, that is the earliest you could get there. We landed at 9 a.m. their time, like 9 a.m. their time. We were in the first car and like pulling away.
It took us 4 hours to get to the park. The drive was an hour. That's where the issue was.
Yeah,
was in that.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were in the car an hour after we landed.
Yeah.
So at 10.
So we'd have gotten there at like 11:15. We'd have been fine.
Yeah. But yeah, we got there actually by like 1:15. So it's like another 2 hours. So, but would you do 2 days in hindsight going again to avoid or still try for 1 day? So what we didn't really what we didn't really kind of or what we didn't realize was Bricking in Bavaria is also that like was the same weekend we were there. And I've had a look and it's about a 2-hour drive from Legoland. So
In which direction? In the wind.
kind of like north.
Okay.
Northeast, I think, of Legoland. You have like Stuttgart, Legoland, Munich, and I think it was like somewhere around here.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about a 2-hour drive. So I think like I don't think extending the trip by a day is worthwhile. Like by the time you've all spent just or the money you spend on like getting accommodation, hiring the car for longer, the flight prices don't really change. Like it's again for me now, it's like another day away from Penelope and Paige. I want to try avoid doing as much as I can. Like I just don't think I would see the value in it if it become like a 2-day thing. That's like my whole weekend gone away from my family pretty much, or I'm taking a day off work, which I'm out of pocket even less. So like it just doesn't, to me, it's not worth it. Now if there was every Lego part available ever, then maybe we'd be doing a week vacation there, and I'll be bringing Paige and Penelope and using some of their allocation. But
That's more over kids.
yeah, but we're not there yet. So no, I would still do 1 day. I think we've learned enough from this trip. As funny as it has been and as stressful as it got, we have learned a ton of lessons on what to do, what not to do, our best things, and we can eliminate a good chunk of those problems. Or we're just not even necessarily, because a lot of the problems were some of the problems were out of our control. Time management, less so, but the car breaking down was just like whatever. We lost again another 2 hours, like just trying to get a new car, and getting away from that traffic, car nods, like yeah, exactly. Lots of lessons learned for next time. Exactly. Maybe next time see if they have a pedal car rather than an electric one. Honestly. The car hire people after you drove off in the second car. We can't believe we finally got someone to take the crappy electric car. Let's grab the German sausage and celebrate. honestly. Best way to learn is to experience it, to be fair. As a solo traveler, I have had my fair share of FFs I learned from. Yeah, like, and we did. If we had got the first flight home the next day and we had to stay in the airport, so what? Like, it would have been annoying. It wouldn't have been ideal. Sam would have had to call in sick for work.
Vlog. I'd have still shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd have been excellent vlog content.
It would have, yeah, and we would have found something to do.
We'd figure something to do. We'd stream from the airport.
Honestly,
hi guys.
Yeah. Sort it out, number.
let's do what we hear.
So yeah, I would do it in a day. Like you said, if you are going to do it, I can see why a lot of people might not want to do it in a day. I can see why it could be advertising to some people to do it in a day. Like Sam said, we didn't really stop. And if you're not fussed about doing anything in Legoland, then there's more than enough time just to do the shop. We had a little wander around through a couple of the different lines. One thing I will say, it's themed really well. They've really put some time and effort into the theming and the decoration of a lot of the parks, more so than I think Windsor. So that was like a big plus, but I don't think the park is any bigger. It's certainly not any bigger land than Windsor. I think it's felt smaller. But yeah.
Benefit compared to Windsor, you don't have to go down the giant stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a lot flatter.
Day trip for the win, I reckon. Same with Lego House. Yeah, I think so. I guess Lego House, because there's like because there is Legoland there, I could potentially see more, but because it is just a case of we're just pretty much going for the pab, then yeah, I just I just don't see any point. We didn't, Mike. No, we didn't. We, like I said, I opted to do the ride. We next time I would probably sack off the rides and go do the Duplo shop or whatever. But yeah, yeah, it was good fun though. We had a good time. Like I said at the end of the vlog, me and Sam will always have a good time.
Yeah.
I think the only
It could have been way worse.
it could have been a
If
hell of a
like
lot
either
worse.
that happened or like one of us ended up getting really pissy about it and
Yeah.
like in an awkward bad mood, that would have been. But we saw the light in it in
Yeah,
the
I think
situation.
the only time I got a little bit agitated was when we took the wrong turn in, but that was no
Yeah.
more your fault than it was mine or
No, it was
what kind of
Enterprise
took it
Rent a
that way,
Car's
and it was
fault.
just yeah, it
Put
was
it
kind of
mild.
that was kind of it, but yeah, it was fine in the end. And yeah, we had a great time, and we got some awesome stuff to work on, for some for the pod race, some for loads of other things. Did you have a limit on how much you could bring back, like customs and all that?
I said that to say, he's like, are we gonna have to declare this when we get back?
Sorry, officer, I got my 8 orcas here. No, yeah,
I don't
don't
think
know.
so.
Yeah, it was only we only had hand luggage, so it was like a hand, yeah. There's a BAM shop as well by entrance with the year pass. You get a free one. So next time for me, that was rammed. We walked past that as
Yeah.
we walked out of the shop. It
I can
was
tell if that's
so
just because it was
busy.
at the end of the day and all the rides were shut.
Yeah,
If
probably.
that's why it was so busy in there.
Yeah, but it was, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I think we'd not go on a Friday. We'd check like the school holidays and things like
Check
that.
German school times.
Yeah.
Get
But again,
arrested for
we're
checking
kind
German
of
school
like,
times.
we were at the point in which we decided, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to do this. We were kind of running out of days. I had quite a bit of time off in and around like September and October for work, so doing it any earlier wasn't really an option. And we wanted to do it before the park closed before Christmas, so
Yeah.
yeah, maybe avoid saying you have bags of animals you're bringing. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, yeah. Is there any more questions from anyone? I don't think. I think we've covered pretty much everything. But yeah, it was a great trip. We had a great time. Yeah, I will keep an eager eye on when the next or when it reopens, what parts are available. I guess you can also tell just by the Bricklink stores that
Yeah.
that have like they're a really random piece that they have like 7,000 of. So you could mix pieces. Is that any piece? Yes. Aside from obviously the animals, anything done by weight marks, you could mix. Yeah.
There was animals and like boat hulls, weirdly, and base plates.
Yeah, base plate, boat holes, and animals were the only thing that were different. And everything else pretty much was by weight. But yeah, like I said, you could completely just do individual bags if you wanted to. The scales were all set to minus 0.014 grams or whatever, which I'm assuming was the weight of the bag.
Yeah.
So they already count. So yeah, so that was already factored in. So that was fine. So you are getting 100 grams of pure Lego. It's not of the bag. So yeah, if you can't be asked to pre-sort everything, I think if you want, again, because a lot of the pieces that are really worthwhile getting are small. So if you want large quantities, or if you want your like pretty much max 100 grams, I probably would recommend just doing individual bags. And then maybe if you just want some of the printed tiles, if you just want like a small handful, then that's probably and you're only going to pick like 10 or 15 out, then it's probably easier to just do one big bag. But yeah, just kind of up to personal preference, really. Did feel a bit bad using all the plastic bags, but thought
You'll
I'd save
reuse them.
space and sort it out stuff. I couldn't. The other thing I couldn't quite work out how I was going to do it at first. I was like, do I do all my white pieces that I want to get? Do I do all the pod race pieces I want to get in one bag? I thought, oh, I'm just going to lose track here. I'm going to lose track of the price as well. But yeah, I think another good psychological thing to do is rather than go with it's 100 grams for €10, just do 100 grams as £10.
Yeah.
And then you know that when
That's what I did do in my head.
you're all good. Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's a bit cheaper than you thought it was.
Yeah, and then it's a lovely
Like, oh,
perfect
that's all right
surprise.
then.
You're like, oh, I barely spent anything. Handful stuffing is order of the day there. Wait, what?
Means everyone's like taking handfuls and filling the bags with them.
Oh, I see. Yeah, got it. Great trip indeed. Good memories made and awesome Lego parts too. Perfect day. It was tight. That is exactly it. We've got some stories to tell. We had a good time and we got some good parts that we wanted. We set out to do everything we wanted to do. It just didn't quite pan out as smooth as we had hoped. But then when does anything ever when it comes to me and you, dude? Like when
that would have been a terribly boring vlog.
Yeah, when has anything ever just gone smooth sailing?
I'm trying to think. I don't think there is one.
There's always something.
Yeah.
There is always a moment where you go, oh god, your hands just makes you crease.
Like Swindon, I got a lovely text. Sam's mock's falling over. What?
Yeah. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for the Legoland Germany recap. Is there anything more you wanted to add, Sam?
I don't think so. No.
Awesome. Okay, well, we can put that drama and chaos behind us. Like I said, thanks again to all of the members that upgraded their membership to Jedi Master so they could watch the vlog, especially before the stream today. I hope you found that to be beneficial. I do, after this weekend, I think I've got vlogs every Saturday for Jedi Masters up until the end of the year now. One of them being, I've got a bit of a backlog of them now. One of them being the Legoland trip.
The other one
in Windsor.
What's the oldest vlog that you've got?
I think that's the oldest one. I think the Legoland Windsor one is the oldest one, and I will be going through them chronologically now. I just thought it would be best to get this one out so we could then talk about it. And it's just sort of fresh in my mind. But yeah. Awesome. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I will not be streaming anymore this week. It is Paige's birthday, and we've got a wedding to go to this weekend as well. So we are quite busy now. But I will be back next Tuesday. I might be building that anniversary set with the Battle Pack anniversary set. I think I might be building that. So be on the lookout for that. And to all the members, I'll post a schedule with all the member stuff up on there. But thank you all, guys, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.
Auf Wiedersehen.